apologize for the delay there. We apologize for the delay there in the top of the first. Tanner Everett made quick work of their first three, and the lineup for the Lions is Cyrus Campos at shortstop, Jaron Morris catching, Caleb Ramsey back in the lineup in center field, Will Curcio at third base, Denaj Williams at second, Cade Cook in right field, Morgan Halliday at first, Jack Reynolds in left field, and Caleb McCarty at DH.
Here we now go in the bottom of the first inning. Score currently tied 0-0, and the first batter for the Lions will be Cyrus Campos. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. And that one off the mark. So that'll quickly move the count to 2-0 now. The 2-0 is outside corner for strike one. Here's the 2-1 to Campos. Swung on and hit fairly hard out to center field. Center fielder ranging back pedals, and is able to make the catch for out number one. Next batter for the Lions will be the catcher, Jaron Morris. The pitch is in there for strike one. Next pitch is low, ball one, count evens out. The 1-1 is swung on and chopped toward the third base side, and it's over the glove of the shortstop. Took a weird hop and bounced over the shortstop's head, and the Lions have the first hit of the day off the bat of Jaron Morris.
I don't know if anybody on the team's benefited more than Jaron Morris from that turf.
And the next batter for the Lions is Caleb Ramsey. Back in the lineup, has been injured the past couple of weeks. And he'll look at a fastball in there for strike one. The pinch runner for Morris looks to be Jackson Ballou. Here's the 0-1. And that pitch is off the mark. Count evens out, 1-1. The 1-1 offer is taken low, and that'll move the count to 2-1 now. Next pitch to Ramsey is outside, and then I'll move the count to a dangerous 3-1. Ramsey might be playing with a little chip on his shoulder, playing against his former team in Truett McConnell, as there's a pickoff attempt to first to no avail.
There's a little bit of irony in that. His first game back from injury against his former school.
Here's the 3-1. That pitch is outside and low, ball 4. So just like that, the Lions have 2 men on base at first and second, and the batter will now be the third baseman, Will Curcio. Here's the first pitch to Curcio, and it's a breaking ball that gets away from the catcher. Both runners will move up. Runners now at second and third here with 1 out. Lions in a very good spot to strike first right here. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. Count evens out at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Curcio. Swings and hits a soft ground ball foul over towards the first base dugout. So Curcio will find himself behind now 1-2. 1 out, runners at second and third. And a pickoff attempt to second almost sails over the second baseman's head, but a nice leaping grab right there. The 1-2 is called strike 3. And now the batter will be Denaj Williams. Williams continues to be not just the hottest hitter in this lineup, but one of the hottest hitters in the country. Putting up more than 15 home runs. I believe he has 16 or 17 now, including one earlier this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's another guy that Brian wants up in this situation, 2 outs with 2 runners in scoring position.
Williams did have, as he'll look at ball 1 outside, he did have a walk-off 2-run bomb against Johnson University. So not only is he a power hitter, but he is also a very clutch hitter. The 1-0 is off the mark. Count moves to 2-0. And it looks like we're already going to have a mound visit. So we will be back after this visit. So after the mound visit, count is 2-0. Runner is at second and third here in the bottom of the first, and the batter for the Lions is Denaj Williams. The pitch is called strike 1 on the outer half. Count now 2-1 here, 2 outs. The pitch to Williams is cut on a hit sharply through the right side. And that'll bring a run home. Lions strike first off of an RBI single from Danaj Williams. Runners now at first and third, and the batter will be the captain, Cade Cook. And a pickoff attempt to first. No good. Williams upstanding.
Now with Cade Cook up, he's been hot lately. Homered twice in the last home game.
Here's the pitch. Swung on a hit high, but also well foul over toward the third base side. Lions currently leading 1-0 off of an RBI single from Williams. The pitch is upstairs and in. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 is upstairs and in. So just like that, count now moves to 2-1 here with 2 outs. Runners at first and third. And a pickoff attempt. Not even close as Williams is back standing. The next pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. So just like that, the count will now be even out at 2-2 here with 2 outs. The 2-2 home. Williams takes off, grounder toward the third base side, glove by the third baseman, thrower to first is in time for the third out. So Lions strike first here in the bottom of the first off of a Danaj Williams RBI single. We'll be back after this break.
Hey there, this is Dr. Gleason. I'm an English professor at Bryan College, and I wanted to wish everybody out here who's listening to BC Baseball a happy Easter weekend from the academics team. And I also want to shout out Boston, who has done such an incredible job with the audio. And remind me of your name? And Charlie in the booth as well. Boston is in my college writing 2 class, and he's a great student. So give him some love on the YouTube channel in the comment section. BC Baseball, this broadcast, this team, this community, it's really fun to be a part of as a professor. So much love.
Happy Easter. Once again, I'm going to kind of reiterate what he said. Everybody, I hope, is having a happy Easter weekend, and more specifically for today, a very good Good Friday. Tanner Everett back on the mound for the Lions. First pitch is hit right back up the middle. A diving attempt from Williams, but it's going to kick off of his glove. So Truett will start off this inning with a single. Pinch runner also coming in for Truett.
I don't know, man. It might not be. It might not be a courtesy runner. It might be like a real pinch runner, and it's taking somebody out of the field. Bro, subs in baseball are so confusing. Yeah.
So now runner at first, nobody out. Next pitch from Everett is inside for ball one. Next pitch is also inside, so Everett finds himself behind 2-0 now. The 2-0 is swung on and fouled right back at us. So that'll move the count to 2-1 now. The 2-1 is swung on and hit high and fairly deep to center. Ramsey takes a couple steps back and will squeeze it for the first out. So now 1 out, runner at first. Here's the next pitch from Everett. And it's grounded to third base with Curcio, who gloves it, throws it to Didi for one. Didi on to first. A nice stretch from Maple, and there's the double play. So once again, Everett making quick work of Truett's lineup. Lions currently lead 1-0. We'll be back after this break.
Bruh, Cardi's not the DH.
Do real quickly want to fix something real quick. Halliday is actually the DH today, and McCarty's playing first base. So while Maple Morgan Halliday can have a really good stretch at first, that good stretch at first was from Caleb McCarty. So we are now a go here in the bottom of the second inning. And the first batter for the Lions will be the big Canadian, Morgan Halliday. First pitch is fouled straight back, strike one. The 1-0 or the 0-1 is outside, count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled off over the third base dugout. So count will move to 1-2 now. Truett's infield in an interesting shift. As next pitch is fouled straight back, count is still 1-2. It appears that the only fielder on the third base side of the field is just the third baseman. Shortstop is playing where second would play in double play depth. Second's playing in the hole as Maple swings and hits a high fly ball out to right center and at the wall. And Truett's center fielder will make the catch.
Halliday's had some tough luck lately. He's been driving balls well, just at people, maybe a little bit hung up a little bit too long there.
So with that, the new batter will be Jack Reynolds. First pitch is swung on and hit high toward the left field side. That one may have a chance to go, and it does! See ya! Jack Reynolds! So with a bomb from Jack Reynolds, the score is now 2-0 Lions. And the new batter will be Caleb McCarty. First pitch to Carty is in there for strike one. The 0-1 is swung on and chopped toward the first base side. Pitcher gloves it, flips on to first for out number two. So now two gone here in the bottom of the second, and the Lions are right back to the top of their lineup in Cyrus Campos. Campos flied out his last AB as he'll look at the first pitch outside for ball one.
Campos struck that ball well to center field in the first inning.
The 1-0 is well outside and high. Count moves to 2-0 now. The 2-0 is swung on, hit sharply foul down the first base side. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count evens out at 2-2.
So just looking at those two foul balls, Campos looks like he's all over it.
Here's the 2-2. And that pitch is outside. Count is now full. And the umpire hearing it from about everybody in Truett's dugout.
I'm not sure what there is to argue about that one.
Here's the payoff. Swung on and hit on the ground, and he hit it right into the shift. Second baseman will throw it to first for the third out. So Lions tack on another off of a solo shot from Jack Reynolds to left. We'll be back after this break. We are now a go here in the top of the third inning. Lions currently lead 2-0. Tanner Everett back on the mound. First pitch is skied to left center field, and oh, what a play out there from Jack Reynolds. A diving catch to save potential extra bases.
That ball was really deep in the gap, and I'm surprised that he made that play. I'm surprised anybody could make that play.
I wish we had a better angle of it. That was an incredible catch. So now one out. And here's the next pitch from Everett. Batter squares to bunt, and that one's in there for strike one. The 0-1 is low. Count evens out 1-1. The 1-1 is swung on, hit sharply, and it kicks off of third baseman Curcio's glove. Runner going to try to go to second, and he will make it there safely. So now Truitt has a runner at second with one out. Runner at second here, 1 out. Third baseman Curcio playing in, and so is McCarty, the first baseman, as they anticipated the bunt well. Curcio gloves it, throws on to first, and a great play over there from McCarty. And now there are 2 outs. Runner does move up to third on the sac bunt. Looks like we now may have an argument from Truett's coach, maybe saying that McCarty maybe came off the bag or something, which is crazy. His foot clearly dragged across the entire base.
Yeah, I really don't think that there's any way that this call gets overturned.
Yeah, and it didn't. I mean, that was honestly the umpires right there. They probably were just talking about where they're going to go eat after this at that point because there's nothing. I mean, he was clearly out.
Absolutely.
So corner still playing in, maybe anticipating a squeeze bunt here. Next pitch from Everett is in there for strike one. The 0-1 is swung on and hit foul straight back. So that'll quickly move the count to 0-2 now. Everett in a good opportunity right here to get out of this inning unscathed. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike three. Ball in the dirt, throw from the catcher Morris, and just like that, Everett gets out of the inning unscathed. Lions still lead 2-0. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the third inning. First batter for the Lions is Jaron Morris, who hit a single his last AB. Here's the first pitch. Swung on a hit high and deep to left field. See ya! Jaron Morris into the pond. An absolute rocket off the bat as that ball got out on a line. And the Lions now lead 3-0. So after that, go ahead.
I'll tell you what, that was no Brian Baum there.
Absolutely not. That thing would have been gone anywhere. And that'll bring up the dangerous Caleb Ramsey, who walked his last AB. Here's the pitch to him. And that pitch is outside, ball one. The 1-0 is in there for strike one. Count now even at 1-1. Here's the next pitch to Ramsey. And that pitch is outside and low. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 is swung on, hit sharply towards the left side. Is that one going to fall? And it will! Ramsey on his way to second, and he'll stop there. Ramsey definitely excited to hit that double against his former team, and now he's at second with still nobody out. So now Caleb Ramsey at second, and the batter is now Will Curcio, who went down looking on strikes his last AB.
You saw a lot of emotion from Ramsey on that one. I'm sure it felt good to finally pick up a hit after being hurt for so long.
And especially against his former team as Curcio looks at ball one. Curcio calls time as it looks like maybe a bee's trying to get him. The 1-0 is swung on and hit foul toward the right side. While Will was swatting at that wasper bee, we heard what seemed to be like Ben Zybert from the dugout tell Will that he was built like a beehive. I think that's a compliment or an insult.
Say that would probably be an insult.
All of, though. Count is now 1-1. Here's the pitch, and Curcio squares to bunt, and he will get it down, and he might beat it out to first, and he will. He'll bunt for a hit. Take him any way you can get him, Will Curcio.
Giving Truett McConnell a little bit of a taste of their own medicine there.
Absolutely, but Bryan College apparently can do it just a little bit better. What a great place bunt. Runners now at first and third, nobody out, and the batter is the dangerous Denaj Williams. Williams got this game started off right for the Lions, recording an RBI single his last AB. Here's the pitch. Way outside for ball one. The 1-0 to Williams is swung on and hit high and deep to right field. Will it stay fair? Yes, and way gone. See ya! Williams with a 3-run bomb puts the Lions up 6-0 here in the third.
That ball was absolutely launched and with the wind blowing in.
Never a doubt that ball was going to get out. That ball was absolutely cranked. Definitely one of the further home runs we've seen this year. Next batter for the Lions is going to be Cade Cook. Cook grounded out his last AB. Here's the first pitch. And it's upstairs, ball one. The 1-0. And kind of a half-hearted swing from Cook right there. It looked like maybe that off-speed fooled him. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is a breaking ball in there for strike two. So Cook finds himself behind now 1-2 here. Still nobody out. Nobody on base. Third baseman currently hugging that line. The pitch is hit to the opposite field. Kind of a weird route from the right fielder, but he will make the catch for out number one.
Another fairly hard hit ball for Cookie right there, just not finding the gap.
So with Cook retired, that'll bring up the big Canadian Morgan Halliday, who flied out to center field his last AB, but on paper that doesn't look good, but he hit the ball to the warning track as he'll look at ball one outside. Here's the 1-0. And that one is downstairs. Count goes to 2-0 now. The 2-0 is swung on, hit softly down the third base line, and that one's going to roll foul. So a near swinging bunt for a hit for Halliday, and that'll move the count to 2-1 now.
I think if that one stayed fair, he was there all day.
Oh, absolutely. Count 2-1 here, one out. Next pitch is outside. Count moves to 3-1. I'm going to real quickly kind of explain the infield real quick. Third baseman is the only fielder on the left side. The shortstop is where second should be. Second shaded over towards the hole, and first base is playing normal, and that might – oh, my! So Halliday hit it right into that shift on the right side, and it got past every single one of them. And that's going to be a hit as well. It never touched leather. So a single from Halliday. And now the batter will be Jack Reynolds, who homered his last AB.
That's got to be infuriating for the Truett McConnell coach. You play everything right. There's just nothing you can do about it.
First pitch to Reynolds is in there for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a high fly ball to right center field. That one is not going to have a chance. Caught on the warning track. So another great swing from Reynolds, but did not get the results of his last AB. And now there are two outs. The batter will be Caleb McCarty.
This wind blowing in seems to be really hurting the Lions here.
Runner at first here, two outs. Lions currently have a commanding lead of 6-0 here in the third. First pitch to McCarty is low for ball one. There's a pickoff attempt. Runner back safely. Count 1-0. The pitch to McCarty is swung on and hit high and deep to left field. Is that one going to get out too? It won't. It will bounce right up against the wall. Halliday's going to score, And McCarty's going to have a double. So an RBI double from McCarty, and now the Lions lead 7-0 here in the third.
Morgan showed off the wheels there, scored all the way from first.
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie. I thought that ball was going to get out.
I thought it would too.
Maybe this wind played a little factor in it, but the Lions will take what they can get as they tack on another. This has now become a 5-run inning, and we're back to the top in Cyrus Campos, who looks at the first pitch low for ball one. So 2 outs here, runner at second. The 1-0 is low. Great read out there from McCarty. And the count moves to 2-0 now. Next pitch is swung on and foul tipped into the mid, so count moves to 2-1. Next pitch is well off the mark. So now Campos in a really good opportunity right here to do some damage. Counts now 3-1. The 3-1 offer is outside and high, ball 4. So Campos walks, runners now at first and second with 2 outs. And the batter will be Jaron Morris, who hit a home run in his last AB. And it appears that the Lions have batted around.
Morris led this inning off with a home run. Now he's all the way back up.
Score currently 7-0. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. First pitch to Morris is outside. Makes you want to think how long McConnell's going to let this pitcher go, keep going. As I say that, it looks like somebody's running to the bullpen maybe to relay a message, maybe to get going a little bit sooner. The 1-0 is low. Count moves to 2-0.
Yeah, I'm surprised this pitcher hasn't been pulled yet. He's gotten behind in a lot of counts, and the Lions are punishing him for it.
Going beyond that, looks like the Lions have been seeing his pitch as well. As the next pitch is in the dirt, so count quickly moves to 3-0.
You have to imagine that this is the last batter of the day for this pitcher.
Here's the 3-0 offer. And it looked like Morris may have had the 3-0 green light as he check swung, but that pitch is up and in, ball 4. Bases are now loaded, and in steps Caleb Ramsey. And it appears we won't have a pitching change just yet, surprisingly. Jackson Blue back out to run for Morris. Ramsey doubled in his last AB. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's a breaking ball in there for strike 1.
You know, I can't help but think that this is a terrible idea, leaving this pitcher in against Caleb Ramsey with a chip on his shoulder.
Going into the heart of the Lions order, it's definitely a bold move. As he'll look at the next pitch outside, so he does fall behind 0-2 now, but we have seen Ramsey do damage in 2-strike counts. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And pitcher steps off. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and chopped toward the first base side. A weird bounce, and he's safe. Oh, and they're going to call him out. It looked like Ramsey beat out the throw or the pitcher to first base right there, but they're going to call him out anyway. And he's down for a second. And he'll get back up. So a really good inning right there from the Lions. They currently 7-0 as they put up a 5 spot in this inning. Tanner Everett with a lot of breathing room. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 4th inning. Lions currently have a commanding 7-0 lead off of 9 hits. And Tanner Everett back toeing the rubber for the Lions, and for good reason. He's only let up 2 hits so far. As the first pitch is skied toward the first base dugout, and that one's going to leak foul. Everett has been commanding McConnell's lineup very good so far, as he currently has 3 Ks on the day, one of which was looking. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Count moves to 1-1 now.
The only hits he's given up on the day have been a ground ball single and a hard hit ground ball down the line for a double.
And the next pitch from him is a filthy slider, swung on a miss. Count moves to 1-2. Next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Tev with his 4th strikeout of the day, his 3rd swinging. And just like that, there's quickly 1 gone. Next pitch from Everett is hit sharply foul down the third base side. When you look at a pitcher like Everett, sometimes you wonder why he's so dominant. I mean, he doesn't throw 95 plus as the next pitch is fouled off. Count moves to 0-2. He doesn't throw 95. He doesn't have a crazy turbo sinker. He doesn't throw sub. Like, what makes him so special? And to that, I would say is his commandment of the strike zone. Being able to throw more than 2 pitches in there for a strike and keep hitters off balance.
I 100% agree with you.
As the next pitch is skied out to right field, Cook will grab it for out number 2. Another thing Everett does well is getting ahead in counts. So now quickly 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit sharply to center field, but right at the center fielder, Ramsey, who will put the squeeze on it for the 3rd out. So Tanner Everett once again just rolling through this lineup. Lions currently lead 7-0. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the 4th inning. First batter for the Lions is Will Curcio. And there is a new arm on the mound for Truett McConnell, as that poor first pitcher was just getting absolutely rocked by the Lions lineup. Score is currently 7-0. Curcio, his last AB, bunted for a hit. And he'll swing at the first pitch and hit it sharply to third. Third baseman gloves it, throws it across, and there's the first out.
And those pants that pitcher's wearing, a little bit of a throwback to about the 1920s.
Wow. Something you don't really see nowadays. Now the batter is Denaj Williams, who will swing at the first pitch, and that will get past the diving second baseman. So once again, Williams just getting it done, his second single of the day, and that's also his third hit. So now Williams at first, 1 out, and the batter will be Cade Cook. Here's the first pitch, and that one is well off the mark. 1-0. The 1-0 to Cook is low. Count moves to 2-0 now. Next pitch is well high and outside. And just like that, Cook finds himself up 3-0. Cook currently hasn't gotten on base today, so might do a 3-0 take, and that's exactly what happened right there. Count moves to now 3-1.
Well, he hadn't gotten on base. He's hitting 2 balls. He's hit 2 balls really hard. Deep fly out to right field and a hard hit ground ball to third.
Here's a 3-1 offer, and that one almost comes in and gets him, but that will be ball 4. Runners now at first and second with only 1 out. And now the batter will be Morgan Halliday. Halliday flied out to center field his first AB and got a single his last. Infield not shifting for the lefty this time, as the middle infielders will just be in double play depth. First pitch is well off the mark, and that one skips away. And both runners will move up. Runners now at second and third here with 1 out. Here's the 1-0 to Halliday. And a big swing and a miss right there. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 home is a breaking ball that is high. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1. And that pitch is called off the mark. Count now moves to 3-1.
Looked like a bad frame from the catcher, pulled that out of the zone.
And the 3-1 is outside, so the big Canadian will walk, and that'll leave bases loaded for Jack Reynolds, who already has a homer this game. Still only 1 out here as well, so a pop fly into the outfield with, I believe that's Williams at third, and it is. Any pop fly in the outfield will get him home, as first pitch is a breaker in there for strike 1. The 0-1 is outside and low. Count evens out at 1-1 now. Reynolds having an exceptional day so far, as he's homered and had a fantastic catch in left field to save extra bases. And he swings and misses. Count moves to 1-2.
Absolutely smoked the ball on his last at bat, too. Deep to center field. It was caught on the warning track.
Here's the 1-2 to Reynolds. And that pitch is well off the mark and almost gets away. But count will even out at 2-2 now. The 2-2 home is a breaking ball that is in there for strike 3. So Reynolds retired on strikes, and now the batter will be Caleb McCarty. McCarty had an RBI double his last AB, and he'll step in when the base is loaded and 2 outs. First pitch is in there, strike 1. The 0-1 is a check swing, and they're going to say he went. Count moves to 0-2 now. Next pitch is outside and low. Count moves to 1-2 now. Next pitch is check swung, and they're going to say that he went around. So there's the third out of the inning. Nothing doing for the Lions in this inning. They still lead 7-0, and we'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 5th inning. Lions currently lead 7-0 over Truett McConnell. Everett back on the mound for the lineup for the Lions, and I mean he's just been rolling through the Truett McConnell lineup. Here's his first pitch from him, and it's hit sharply foul down the third base side.
No.
The 0-1 is hit high and not really deep to right field, and it's going to sneak out foul. So just like that, once again, Everett finds himself ahead of another batter, count 0-2.
He's in a great spot to pick up his 5th strikeout here.
The 0-2 is a good breaker in the dirt, but no bite from the batter. Count moves to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Everett. And that pitch is upstairs. Count evens out 2-2. The 2-2 home is swung on and hit kind of off the hands to left field. Reynolds ranging in, and almost another fantastic catch, but he can't get it. And Campos is going to have to run and go get it as Reynolds is down. So it'll be a triple, no-out triple, and Reynolds is on the ground. Looks like he might be in a little bit of pain. So Reynolds is now up. Looked like maybe they were messing with his arm or collarbone, and looks like maybe he's done for this game. And it appears it will be as we see Jackson Ballou heading out of the dugout. Hopefully that injury isn't too bad. That would be an absolutely sucky way to end a season.
He was in a lot of pain out there on the ground.
And it looked like it happened right after the dive, so I think maybe he landed wrong when he did dive and put a little too much pressure. So now runner at third here with nobody out. And here's the next pitch from Everett. And that pitch is in the dirt, ball one. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. So count now evens out at 1-1. One offer is swung on and missed. Count moves to 1-2.
That batter really got beat by that high fastball.
The 1-2 offer is swung on and hit high to center. Ramsey does have a decent arm on him. We'll see if maybe he can get the runner out at home. It's a great throw. It's on line! And he got him! Caleb Ramsey! What a play!
That was one of the most impressive throws I've ever seen in my life.
What an absolute unit. Wow. That ball wasn't hit to shallow center field either. It was hit about mid-center field. What an absolute cannon out there. And that preserves the Lions' 7-0 lead. Now there's nobody on with 2 outs.
I mean, that ball was hit well in the gap. And he threw a strike to Morris.
Next pitch from Everett is fouled over the first base dugout. Here's the 0-1. And that pitch is in the dirt. Count moves to 1-1 now. One home. It is swung on and chopped to the shortstop, Campos, who gloves it, throws it on to first, and Carty will make the catch for out number 3. So Tev once again rolling through this lineup, but also this inning getting some great help from his center fielder, Caleb Ramsey, on an absolute dime of a throw. Lions still lead 7-0. We'll be back after this break. All right, here we now go in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lions once again back to their leadoff hitter, Campos, who will look at ball 1 low. We still don't have a word on Reynolds other than we can see him getting looked at by the training staff, as Campos will send a line drive up the middle for a base hit. So just like that, the Lions have their leadoff hitter aboard. And now the batter will be Jaron Morris, who has had a phenomenal day at the plate so far, recording a single, a home run, and a walk.
Do you think that there's any chance he could hit a triple?
I don't know, man. I mean, center field's pretty deep. If he can hit it in just the right spot. And he'll look at a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And that pitch is in the dirt and inside. No movement at first from Campos. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is low and away. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 to Morris is swung on and hit sharply right to the second baseman, who flips it to the shortstop for one and on the first to complete the double play. It was good contact by Morris, just right to a guy. And now the batter will be Caleb Ramsey.
You got to think if they're not in double play depth right there, that ball's got a really good shot of getting through.
First pitch to Ramsey is a breaking ball in there for strike one. Ramsey also having a pretty solid day at the plate. Walked his first AB and hit a big double in his second AB. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch is in the dirt and outside. Count moves to 1-1 now. The 1-1 home is swung on and hit foul. Count moves to 1-2. Here's the 1-2, and a breaker that is off the mark. Count moves to 2-2. Here's the 2-2 home. Swung on and hit off the end of the bat to the shortstop, who gloves it and throws it on to first for the third out. So once again, nothing doing it for the Lions here in the fifth. Score is still 7-0. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the sixth inning. Lions currently lead 7-0 on 11 hits. Everett still on the mound, as he's just been dominating this Truett lineup. Here's his first pitch, and that one is low, ball one. The 1-0 is a fastball that is just outside. Count moves to 1-1 or to 2-0. The 2-0 is a pitch that is inside. So, first time Everett's really found himself in a deep hole here in this game. Count is 3-0. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for strike one. Here's the 3-1 offer from Everett. It's swung on and chopped to the third baseman, Curcio, who gloves it and will flip it across the diamond for out number one. So Everett finding himself behind probably just the first time in this game is what it feels like. And he battles back and gets the out. So great job right there. We still don't know what is wrong with Jack Reynolds. As that pitch is in there for strike one. Been a couple theories circulating, maybe a dislocated shoulder, but nothing is confirmed yet. The 0-1 is swung on and hit softly foul toward the first base dugout. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and chopped toward the second base side, and it eats Didi up a little. And thankfully, Cook was back there to get it quickly.
You know, the lip of that turf definitely plays weird where it meets the outfield.
And it looks like they're going to count that as a hit. So now runner at first with one out. Third baseman Curcio playing in, maybe expecting a bunt right here. And Everett will step off. And Coach Day's going to talk to the umpire a little bit, maybe have Druitt may have had a illegal substitution. He's just wanting to quickly make sure that everything is in line, and it appears it is. So once again, third baseman Curcio playing in, expecting maybe a bunt here. Runner at first here, one out. Here's the pitch. And that one's in there for strike one. The 0-1 is outside. So count evens out at 1-1. Next pitch is off the mark, so count moves to 2-1 now. The 2-1 offer is outside. Everett finds himself behind 3-1 now. Here's a 3-1 offer. And that pitch is in there for strike two. Count is now full. The The payoff from Everett is a pitch in there, strike 3. Everett once again sits another McConnell bat down looking.
That'll make his 5th strikeout of the day.
Now 2 outs, runner at first. And everybody's playing normal depth. Here's the first pitch. Will look to be a slider swung on and missed for strike 1. The 0-1 is a pitch that is out of the zone up. Count evens out at 1-1 now. The 1-1 offer is swung on and missed for strike 2. The 1-2 offer from Everett is swung on and hit foul down the right field side. So count remains 1-2 here with 2 outs, runner at first. Here's the pitch from Everett. And that's in there, strike 3. His 6th strikeout of the day and his 3rd one looking. Everett just rolling through this team. Score is still 7-0, and we'll be back after this break. We are now go here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First batter for the Lions is Will Curcio. As he'll swing at the first pitch and hit it into the gap. And that one's going to roll to the wall. Curcio chugging for 2. Nobody covers the bag, and he'll be up there standing. A leadoff double for Curcio. That was also a new arm for Truett McConnell, so he comes out of the bullpen and immediately gives up a double. And now the batter will be Denaj Williams, who, as usual, has just had a day. started off the game with an RBI single, then hit a 3-run homer and had a single in his last AB. First pitch to Williams is skied to shallow center field. Actually, that's going to stay on the infield. Shortstop will call it and squeeze it for out number 1. So with Williams retired, that'll bring up the captain, Cade Cook. Cook reached on a walk his last AB. Has had a couple hard hit balls today. He'll step in with a runner at second and 1 out. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball that is in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And that is a fastball in there for strike 2. So Cook quickly finds himself behind 0-2 here. The 0-2 offer is swung on and fouled straight back.
That's catcher's interference.
Wow. That's something you rarely see. So now runners will be at first and second, still with 1 out, and the batter will be the big Canadian Morgan Halliday. First pitch to Maple is hit into right field, and that one's going to squeeze past the right fielder who greatly misplayed it. Maple might have a triple, 2-run score on his way to third, sliding and safe. So an American salute celebration from the Canadian who hits a triple, a 2 RBI one at that, and the Lions now lead 9-0. And now we are in run rule territory. Jackson Ballou steps in, runner at third with 1 out. Lions are currently a run away from taking game 1 as the infield's going to play it in. First pitch is in there for strike 1. The 0-1 is in there for strike 2. Here's the 0-2 to Ballou, and he swings and hits a fly ball foul. We did see Halliday show a little bit of the wheels right there, so a fly ball into the outfield will most likely do it. Here's the next 0-2, and that pitch is called strike 3. That one caught the corner, so now 2 outs. And the batter will be Caleb McCarty.
Cardi roped a double in his second at bat.
And he'll look at strike 1.
Looked like a breaking ball in there.
The 0-1. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. Here's the 0-2 to McCarty, and he'll swing and hit a tapper toward the shortstop, who gloves it, throws it to first, and there's the third out. Lions put up a 2 spot off of an RBI triple from the big Canadian Morgan Halliday. Score is currently 9-0. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 7th inning. Lions currently lead 9-0 off of 13 hits. Tanner Everett still on the mound. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is inside for ball 1. Everett's been rolling through this lineup with some ease, but not without some help from his defense. We've seen just really great defense all around from the outfielders and the infielders today, as Tanner will throw that one in there for strike 1. We still do not have an update on Jack Reynolds, as that next pitch will be grounded to Curcio, who kind of misplays it, and there will be no throw. And that'll be counted as an error. So now runner at first with nobody out. Runner at first, nobody out. Everett's next pitch is swung on and hit very well, but also very, very foul. Count 0-1. Everett's next pitch is swung on and hit high and deep to left, and that one is going to be gone but foul. So what was almost a home run is just a long strike. Count moves to 0-2 now. The 0-2 from Everett is in the dirt. No bite from the batter. Count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 offer is swung on and skied right behind shortstop. Campos calling everybody off, and he'll squeeze it for out number 1. So now 1 out, runner at first. Everett's next pitch is hit foul straight back. Lions currently leading 9-0 here in the 7th. The next pitch is off the mark. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is a breaker swung on and missed for strike 2.
Tanner definitely fooled him with that one.
Here's the 1-2 from Everett. Swung on and fouled straight back, so we'll do it again. Count remains 1-2. And that pitch is in there, strike 3. So there's K number 7 for Everett, and that's his 4th one looking. Now 2 outs, runner at first. Everett's next pitch is in there for a strike. Runner at first, 2 outs. The 0-1 is swung on a hit hard, and that one's going to fall for a hit, and that one's actually going to roll to the wall. Blue's going to get it in quickly to save the run, and he might have a shot at it at second, and they're going to say he's safe. So now runner at second and third now, still 2 outs on a very close play at second. Here's Everett's pitch, and it's in there, strike 1. The 0-1 is outside, ball 1. The 1-1 offer is outside, count moves to 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Swung on a hit sharply, and that one's going to get through, so McConnell will have their first run of the game. And runners are now at first and third here, still with 2 outs. Everett's next pitch is in there for a strike. Like maybe the catcher Morris helped him out a little bit on that pitch. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Count moves to an even 1-1 now.
Yeah, you got to think that Morris has done a really good job framing these balls up because Tanner's more of a pitch to contact guy, and he's got 4 strikeouts looking.
Next pitch from Everett is softly hitting the right field, and that one is not going to be caught. Kind of fell into no man's land. Williams picks it up and throws it in. And that will cause another run to score. Score is now 9-2. And with that, Corey Reinhardt's going to go out for a mound visit. Runner is currently at first and second here with 2 outs. Next pitch from Everett is in there for a strike. Seems like there is some sort of movement out there in the Lions bullpen. The 0-1 is in there for strike 2. Here's the 0-2 offer. And a breaker outside of the zone, no offer. Count is now 1-2. The 1-2 is hit foul over the first base dugout. So we'll do it again. Count remains 1-2 here. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Lions currently leading 9-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high to left. Blue will call it and will squeeze it for out number 3. So Truitt finally scratches a couple across. Score is 9-2. Really good job today by Tanner Everett. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the 7th inning. Score is currently 9-2, and the Lions once again back to the top of their lineup in Cyrus Campos. Here's the pitch, and that's ball 1 upstairs. The 1-0 is hit sharply foul down the first base side. So just like that, we are now even at 1-1. Here's the pitch, and a breaker well off the mark. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 is, well inside, almost comes in and gets him, but that will move the count to 3-1.
Looks like some chirping from the Truitt McConnell dugout.
Yeah, they've been complaining about any and everything all day. As Campos puts a drive into that one deep to right field, and that one is going to sail over. See ya! So just like that, the score is now 10-2 off of a solo shot from Cyrus Campos. So Campos hits a solo shot to put the score now 10-2. And that'll bring up Jaron Morris, who has had a great day at the plate so far with a single, a home run, and a walk. And he'll swing the first pitch and foul it back. The 0-1 is a breaking ball in there for strike two. Here's the 0-2. Breaker that is off the mark. No bite from Morris. And the count will now move to 1-2. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and poked toward the first base side. First baseman gloves it and will step on the back. So now with one out, the batter will be Caleb Ramsey. Ramsey has walked and doubled so far. Here's the pitch. And that one is in the dirt. Count is now 1-0 here. Here's the next pitch. And that one is low as well. Count moves to 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a looping fly ball out toward left center field. Center fielder will move over and put the squeeze on it. And there's now out number 2. And that will bring up Will Curcio. Curcio has currently bunted for a hit and actually hit a big double his last AB. Here's the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 1. The 1-0. And that one is in there. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is appear to be low. Count moves to 2-1 now. The 2-1 is low as well. Count now moves to 3-1. Second baseman currently shaded towards the middle of the field. Here's the 3-1 offer, and that one is called a strike. And that will make the count full. So count full here, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the payoff. And that pitch is low, ball 4. Appears we're going to have a pinch runner for Will Curcio.
Looks like Wes Davis out there.
Yeah, it appears to be Wes Davis, and now the batter will be Denaj Williams. So far, Williams has had an RBI single, a 3-run homer, and just a flat-out single. And he has the opportunity right here to walk us off. Here's the pitch. And that one is inside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that kind of slipped out of his hand, it looked like. Count evens out at 1-1 now. The 1-1 offer is swung on and hit fairly hard to center field, but right at the center fielder, who will squeeze it for the 3rd out. So Lions scratch another one across the scoreboard off of a solo shot from Cyrus Campos. Score is currently 10-2, and we will be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 8th inning. Lions currently leading 10-2. Tanner Everett once again back out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. And Ramsey's going to call it and squeeze it for out number 1. Ball was hit a mile high. So quickly, 1 gone here in the 8th. Everett currently having a solid day on the bump, recording 7 strikeouts, 4 of them looking. As his next pitch will be inside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, strike 1. The 1-1 offer is hit to the shortstop Campos, who gloves it, throws on to first, and there's out number 2. So far, Everett doing what he does best, pitching to contact, and quickly 2 gone here in the 8th. Here's the next pitch. And that's a fastball in there, strike 1. The 0-1 is just off the mark. Count evens out at 1-1 now. The 1-1 is cut on and hit sharply, and that one's going to fall for a hit down in left field. So now runner at first here, 2 outs. Here's the next pitch from Everett, and that is swung on and missed for strike 1. The 0-1 is outside and low. Count evens out at 1-1 now. The 1-1 offer is in the dirt. Count moves to 2-1 now. The 2-1 is swung on and popped up toward the third base side, but that one's going to leak foul. It appears we also have a substitution. I just noticed at third base, Wes Davis going out there. Good opportunity for him to get some reps over there. The 2-2 offer is in the dirt. Counts now full. The payoff is swung on and popped up toward the third base side again, once again leaking out of play. So we will do it again. Count remains 3-2. Here's the next payoff. Swung on and missed, strike 3. What an outing from Tanner Everett, recording his 8th strikeout. Score is still 10-2. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lions currently lead 10-2, and the batter will be Cade Cook, who swings at the first pitch and hits it high to center field and actually pretty deep. Center fielder raging back, and he'll catch it on the warning track. So another very hard hit ball right there from Cook, but nothing to show for it for out number 1. There is also a new arm on the mound for Truitt. So after a loud first out, the batter will be Morgan Halliday. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled over the third base dugout. Infield doing the lefty shift. 3 defenders on the right side, 1 on the left. Next pitch is swung on and hit to the left side, but foul. So that'll now move the count to 0-2 now here with 1 out and nobody on. The next pitch is swung on and hit into center field for a base hit. Center fielder cuts it off, and Halliday will have a single.
So this Truitt McConnell pitcher, he's been getting hit well through these first 2 batters.
Lions definitely seeing the ball well today. So now runner at first, and the batter will be Jackson Ballou, who is Jack Reynolds' replacement for the game. Here's the pitch, and that one almost runs in and gets him, but that'll just be a ball. Count moves to 1-0. The 1-0 is check swung at, and they're going to say he did not go. Count moves to 2-0. Also appears we will have a pinch runner for Halliday, and it looks to be Lane Brooks. The 2-0 is in the dirt. Count moves to 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it was a 3-0 auto take. That pitch is in there for strike 1. Here's the 3-1 offer to Ballou, who swings and fouls it straight back. And now the count will be full. And the pitcher will step off. It looks like maybe Ballou wasn't ready yet. 1 out, runner at first. Here's the payoff. Swung on and hit high to right field. Everybody giving chase, and that one is going to go out of play. So we'll do it again. Count remains 3-2. Here's the next payoff. And that pitch is in the dirt, ball 4. So now runners will be at first and second. And the batter will be Caleb McCarty. Here's the pitch. And it's taken outside and low for ball 1. The 1-0 is swung on and hit foul. Straight back. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is in the dirt. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 is swung and hit sharply through the right side. Stop sign being put up. And now the bases are loaded with one out. The Lions will be back to the top of their order in Cyrus Campos. Campos did hit a home run his last AB. But how it looks right now, a single might end it here.
Definitely could, but lose a good runner.
Here's the first pitch, and it's outside for ball one. The 1-0 is in there for strike one. The 1-1 offer is swung on and hit very hard, but foul. Down the first base side. Count moves to 1-2 now. The 1-2 is called strike three. So now there are two outs, and the batter will be Jaron Morris. Here's the first pitch to Morris, and that's upstairs, ball one. Bases loaded, two outs. Here's the 1-0 offer, and that pitch is inside. Count moves to 2-0. And a pickoff attempt. Nobody was at second. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and fouled over towards the first base dugout. So that'll move the count to 2-1 now. The 2-1 offer is outside. Count moves to 3-1. The 3-1 offer is popped up, and that one's going to get out of play. So we'll do it. So now the count will move to a full 3-2 now. Type of stuff you dream of in your backyard playing wiffle ball. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the third base side.
That was really close to being game over.
But instead, we'll do it again. Count remains 3-2. Here's the payoff. Runners on the move. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Will it stay fair? And it will! Jaron Morris walks us off. See ya! And a moonshot to end game one. A walk-off slam. Lions win 14-2 and take game one. So Lions take game one against Truett McConnell in this weekend series. Game two coming up in about 25 to 30 minutes.